Hello there, all you lovely people of the internet. I'm Linz. For this week's video, I thought I would do a what's on my bucket list video. Just because I like seeing what other people have on their bucket lists and what I can add to mine and that kind of stuff. So let's get started. First on my bucket list, and these aren't in any kind of order. Also, this bucket list is from high school. So some of them are kind of older ones, you can tell they're from high school. This is probably, some of them are about 5 years old, I would say, somewhere around there. Number 1 on my bucket list is I want to go to Australia. I want to travel to a lot of places, but Australia is just one of those places that I haven't been that I want to go. Next on my bucket list, I have, I want to win $10 in the lottery. Not $10, I want to win at least $10 in the lottery, and I just say $10 just because it's a low amount and it's pretty possible to actually do if I actually play the lottery, which I pretty much don't. So yeah, we'll see if I ever do this one. Third on my bucket list is I hope to someday get married. The fourth thing on my bucket list is I hope to someday own a home. I'm pretty sure I will actually do this. I think it's something that's very possible for me to do, and I probably will at some point, but it's just something on my bucket list. I want to own a house. The fifth thing on my bucket list is I want to be an extra in a movie. I would be okay with other roles in a movie too, bigger roles or whatever, but I'm pretty shy, so I think I will stick to being an extra as the one that's being on my bucket list. And for those of you that don't know, an extra in a movie is just the background characters. When you see in a scene 100 people walking around in the background, those are all extras, or sometimes they're CGI, but mostly they're extras. The sixth thing is I want to swim with dolphins. There's not really a lot to say about that. I just kind of want to swim with dolphins. I have been on a dolphin sighting tour thing, something or other, but I've never actually gotten to swim with dolphins. So eventually I should be able to do that, right? We'll see. Next on my bucket list, I want to have kids. This kind of goes along with I want to get married. I want to have a family. So yeah. The eighth thing on my bucket list is I want to work in film, or this kind of goes along with it, or make it big enough on YouTube that I can make my living off of YouTube. I am currently in school for film, and you're watching this video on YouTube, so I'm on YouTube. Doesn't mean I'm big on YouTube. Who knows? I may be big on YouTube or whatever. But I don't even need a lot. I don't even need millions and millions of subscribers. I'd be fine with just enough to help me live. Just enough for me to live off of, basically. It's perfectly fine with me. Next one on my bucket list is I want to go to a movie premiere. And with the last thing on my bucket list, the thing right before it, working in film or making it big on YouTube, I think if I can accomplish that one, I can probably also go to a movie premiere. But yeah, we'll hopefully someday, maybe, I don't know. Still got a lot of life ahead of me, so hopefully it'll happen. Number 10, I want to someday go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. I've seen the Eiffel Tower in person, but I've never gotten to go to the top of it. So one day I will go to Paris and I will go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Number 11 is I want to go to Las Vegas. I did mention earlier that I would like to travel, right? Number 12 is I want to graduate college. I'm currently in college, so I'm working on that one. And the last thing on my bucket list is I have it's kind of a combination of them. I have 3 more things that are that looked so weird. Let's do that. 3, whatever. I have 3 more things on my bucket list that all just involve meeting a certain celebrity or YouTuber. I'm not gonna say who it is. You'll find out if I ever meet them. You'll find out who it is though. Alright, now that's everything on my bucket list that I haven't gotten to done. Like I said, I have kept this bucket list since high school, and this is probably 5, maybe 6 years old. So I have been able to complete some of them, and I've like marked them off. Like I didn't completely erase them, but I just marked them off on my bucket list. So I'm gonna share some of the things that I have gotten to done. Right, that makes sense. I have gotten to do on my bucket list. The first thing is I have gotten to go to France. I know I've mentioned this in my 50 facts video, if any of you watched that. But I got to go to France with my French department when I just turned 17. So I think actually that was part of the reason I made this bucket list. I think there were a couple other things that went into it, but I think this was part of the reason I made the bucket list, because like I knew I was going, so I was like, cool, I can check something off the bucket list kind of thing. But I always had bucket list things in mind, I just hadn't like written it down. But anyways, I have been to France. Number 2 on the list of things that I have done on my bucket list is I've been on 2 cruises. And I say 2 because how it was written on my bucket list before was go on another cruise, because my first one I went on when I was 9. Like I said, I wrote this list in high school, so I wrote go on another cruise. So I got to check that one off because I've been on 2 cruises. Like I said, the first one was when I was 9. The second one was my graduation present for graduating high school. The third thing that I've gotten to complete was I have gotten. Why does that word sound weird? I have been able to go snorkeling. I went snorkeling in the Cayman Islands and Cozumel, Mexico on my cruise for my graduation present. I also got to go snorkeling in just off the island of Kauai, which is one of the islands in Hawaii. This one was on my bucket list as go snorkeling or go scuba diving. I kind of wanted to go scuba diving, but I know that can take like classes and stuff, so I was like, I'll just settle for snorkeling if I can do that, right? The fourth thing on my bucket list was I have met 1 celebrity in person. And the first celebrity I ever met, because I've met a couple. The first celebrity I ever met was Evanna Lynch. She was... She played Luna Lovegood in the Harry Potter movies. I got to meet Evanna Lynch when I went to DragonCon in 2014. DragonCon 2014. My best friend and I actually got a picture with her at DragonCon. It was one of the professional pictures you had to pay for it, but it was pretty cool. She was really sweet. I loved her. The fifth thing on my bucket list was I've gotten to meet Allison Scagliotti. She was... She played Mindy in Drake and Josh. She's in Stitchers on the ABC Family, or for what's called Freeform now, network, and she was in Warehouse 13. Played Claudia. I also met her at DragonCon. I met her at DragonCon this year, so DragonCon 2016. I got to get an autograph and a picture with her. I met Eddie McClintock also at DragonCon this year, so DragonCon 2016. I also got his autograph and a picture with him. He was awesome. I love him. He's this, if I'm ever a celebrity or like well known or whatever, he's the type of celebrity that I would want to be. His line at the Walk of Fame, which is also where I met Allison actually, it takes kind of a long time for a small amount of people. But it's because every person that goes up to him, he gives them a hug, he talks to them like one-on-one, like you're an actual person, which you are, and he's an actual person, which he is. Like he's not like, he's very down to earth, that's what I'm trying to say. Like he's very down to earth, he talks to you, and he'll just talk about whatever. And funny story, when I met him, I was wearing a shirt from my school. Like I wasn't even paying attention, but I was wearing a shirt from my school, and so we were talking about my school and how I just moved to Hawaii. And the next day my dad went and saw him. I had already flown back to Hawaii. I was actually on a plane at the time, but my dad went and talked to him, and there was like nobody there. It was the very last day of DragonCon, and most people didn't stick around on the last day. There's not really a whole lot going on, but my dad was there, and so he talked with Eddie, and Allison was actually right next to him. My dad said Allison was playing the guitar, which she can play guitar. She's in a band actually, but Allison was playing the guitar and he was talking with Eddie, and Eddie actually remembered me. And my dad mentioned that. My dad texted me a little later and was like, "Hey, he remembered you." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." But yeah, he was. I just went off on a long tangent there, but yeah, I've met Eddie McClintock from Warehouse 13. He's guest starred in a lot of other things. I don't remember if I mentioned that. The next thing on my bucket list has nothing to do with meeting celebrities. The next thing on my bucket list was getting to ride a Segway. Now, like I said, this was from high school 5 or 6 years ago. So this was before hoverboards came out, before they got real popular and everything. But I got to ride a Segway. This was in Cozumel? Cozumel. This was in Cozumel, Mexico, again, on my graduation cruise present thing, whatever you want to call it. But on that thing, we we had like this kind of tour, not really, like kind of. We got to ride segways, and we rode segways down the beach and then went snorkeling, and one of the guides took us and would actually show us specific fish, and he had like this little food or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he had something that the fish loved. So he would like squirt it. Like it was like bread or something in a water bottle, and he would just like squeeze it. And so the food would come out and the fish would just run to, or swim, because they're fish. They would like swim to it, and it was really cool. But the Segway was really fun. It was really hot out at the time. It was April. I think it was April in Mexico. It was hot. Let's just put it that way. It was hot. But yeah, I've gotten to ride a Segway. Next thing on my bucket list is I have bought a car. I do not have that car anymore. I sold it when I moved to Hawaii, partially because I needed the money. It helped me pay for school for this semester. But I got to buy a car. The ninth thing on my bucket list that I've gotten to do was I have graduated from high school. The next thing on my bucket list is I have been to Hawaii. Obviously, I live here. But like I said, again, this list was written when I was in high school. I'd never been to Hawaii. And it was just a place that I'd always wanted to go. I'd always wanted to go to Hawaii. So here I am, living here now. The 11th thing on my bucket list was I have bought a lottery ticket. This kind of goes along with the whole like winning the lottery thing that I haven't done, but I bought a lottery ticket. And this was, I think, something I put like right before my 18th birthday, when I could legally buy a lottery ticket. So it was kind of one of those things I could just like easily check off. But still, it's kind of a big thing because it's like, I'm an adult now. The next thing on my bucket list was I wanted to get my driver's license, which I do, or which I did. Fun fact about this, I did not get my driver's license until about a month before I turned 19, even though I had gotten my learner's permit just over a month after I turned 15. So I had a learner's permit for almost 4 years. The 13th thing on my bucket list is I have been on a road trip. The 14th thing I wanted to do was I wanted to move out of my parents' house, which I did when I moved here. That was actually the first time I moved out of my parents' house. I had never moved out of my parents' house before, so that was kind of a big thing for me. And not only did I move out, I moved all the way from Georgia to Hawaii. Can't get much farther away, actually. All right, and the very last thing that I have completed on my bucket list was I have moved to Hawaii. This one, when it was written on my bucket list, actually says, said move to Los Angeles or Hawaii. It was one of the two. I pretty much knew I didn't want to stay in Atlanta. And Los Angeles would be good for my career, but Hawaii was like a dream place to be, and I'm currently living in Hawaii. I've moved to Hawaii, so I've done it. I don't really know if I'll stay here. I think I probably will, to be honest, but whether or not I do, I've actually done one of my dreams. I've moved to Hawaii. So that's pretty cool. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. Comment down below some things you have on your bucket list, either that you have completed or that you haven't completed, or both. Tell me something you have done, tell me something you want to do, or 5 things you have done and want to do, or something like that, you know? Whatever. Share whatever you want with me. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to get more ideas for my own bucket list. Currently, I actually have 15 completed and 15 undone. So, it's kind of interesting how that worked out. But yeah. Also, comment down below if you have any more video ideas or anything. Anything you want to see me do in a video, or if there's anything from this list, especially the things that I have done, that you want me to go in more depth about or whatever, like comment that down below. So yeah. Bye. 50 facts about